Hi, my name is Foxy Sugarloop, and today I'm going to be talking about this book called Thanks for the Memories by Brice Taylor. She was a mind control slave in Project Monarch. Different experts who have talked about this book are David Icke, Claire Reeves, we have Ted Gunderson. So basically, if you don't know what MK Ultra is a program, also called Mark Ultra, where people are tortured to a point where they develop multiple personalities and they can't remember what's going on. And they just do the bidding of who they want. It's a Nazi mind control. It's a Nazi program. I think Mark Ultra comes from German. A brief history. The mystery religions of ancient Egypt, Greece, India, and Babylon helped lay the foundation for occultism, meaning hidden knowledge. One of the earliest writings giving reference to occultism is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, a compilation of rituals explicitly describing methods of torture, intimidation to create trauma, the use of potions, drugs, and casting spells, hypnotism, ultimately resulting in the total enslavement of the initiate. The initiate, during the 13th century, Roman Catholic Church increased and solidified its dominion throughout Europe with its infamous Inquisition. Satanism survived this period of persecution and deeply entrenched itself in various esoteric groups. In 1776, a barbarian Jesuit by the name of Adam Weishaupt, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, was commissioned by the House of Rothschilds to centralize the main base of powers of the mystery religions into what was commonly known as the Illuminati, meaning the Enlightened Ones. So this is where we get occultic bloodlines, elite secret societies, and Masonic fraternities. The reason why I woke up to this is just so many things. Being tired of the elitism. I had people thinking that they could walk all over me, that they were so much better than me, and then realizing that the people that are in the elite class are actually evil. They're horrible people. This program, Monarch, the name Monarch is not necessarily defined with a context of royal nobility, but actually refers to the monarch butterfly, which is really interesting. When the person has undergone trauma like electroshock, a feeling of lightheadedness or floating like a butterfly. There's also some esoteric reasons behind it. People experience alters and triggers. So if someone, it says, another way of examining this convoluted victimization of the soul, the body and soul, is by looking at it as a complex computer program. A file alter is created through trauma, repetition, and reinforcement. Okay. The majority of the victims come from multi-generational satanic families and are ostensibly programmed to fulfill the destiny of the chosen ones or the chosen generations, a term coined by Mengele at Auschwitz. And if you haven't looked into what I have seen, Penny L.A. Shepherd, she believes that she is a Mengele, or at least was programmed by him. I would have to check back on that. There's a couple different levels of programming. It's alpha, beta, delta, theta, omega, and gamma. So beta is the sexual program, alpha is the general program, it helps with memory retention, theta is the psychic program, and people who are bloodliners, those coming from multi-generational satanic families, have a greater propensity for having telepathic abilities than non-bloodliners. Okay, and within these groups I have seen that actual magic does occur within the Illuminati. Definitely within Project Montauk. I've heard things of like instantaneous manifestation, going back in time. I mean, you're dealing with extraterrestrial science of things that are maybe a few frequency bands away that maybe know a little bit more than we do. No notable names. This goes through a lot of different things. There are ways to get deprogrammed. I live very close to a Masonic lodge, so really creeps me out, honestly. If a child has survived the initial trials, and if they also prove intelligent but malleable, if the programming goes right, a very, very small infant that has been conditioned from day one is a powerful weapon, because if you get the mind that early, as anyone knows, you can 9 times out of 10, I would say, determine the general behaviors of that child as an adult that they will become. That's why a lot of this transgenderism stuff that they're pushing in schools is so disturbing, because they're just doing this to kids younger and younger. I mean, that's what woke me up really too, was that. I was like, I don't know how people, intelligent people, just go along with that. No thank you. They're giving them post-traumatic stress disorder. That is a huge thing. Sensory deprivation. Brainwave machine. This goes into ways that they torture people. Oh. This is a quote from Dr. Green. If people want to combat this phenomenon, it must be brought out into the public. It must be brought out into the light of day, and it must be done so publicly so as to protect people from coming forth. It cannot be combated on just a national level because it is an international in nature. Governments work in collusion with other governments throughout the world. People who want power work in collusion with one another. They use each other to gain social, economic, and political power. That's a quote from Dr. Green. I'm not sure if that's the Dr. Green. This woman's account is really incredible. I think she knew most, you can see most of the presidents in the recent century. She came from an intergenerational satanic background, that which is 34 million people in the United States or more. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why I've been so scared to talk about this, because it's such an incredible number of people, and I had a lot of fear in talking about this. But now I know, I mean, thanks to Mark Passio, I'm speaking this into existence. People need to wake up. I've tried telling people in person, and it just doesn't sink in. A lot of arrogance. She has a lot of different pictures of her life. I mean, I think it might be a good idea for me to put it up, but you know. She, a lot of these colleges, I mean, I think she had been to UCLA and places like Princeton for programming. I know that Kathy O'Brien had received programming at Harvard. A lot of these elite universities are places for programming, just to let you know where your money's going. Yeah. Kelly, catatonic. I'm sorry for any noise, it's just the location I picked. Shame on the people that ignore this. And shame on me for not speaking out for so long, but I was afraid. They're talking about Wizard of Oz programming. We're off to see the wizard. That's a really common thing. The trafficking that goes on in Disneyland. Never will spend money there again. I mean, fuck all the people who sat there and told me what a piece of shit I was. Because I didn't go to one of these stupid elite universities, and it turns out that is a big programming base. And they're being mind controlled. I mean, they're getting the softcore mind control, so I mean, that's pretty much all schools. That's what Secret Service told me, is the education is in indoctrination. Just, God. And you know, there could be information that, in here that's not, there's always counterintelligence, and you should always keep that in mind. Brain surgery at UCLA took away my father's free will. Okay? They mind control people that are in prison. This is the real problem, okay? Just, it's really unbelievable to me. Higher education or mind control. Rich, she talks about a lot of celebrities in here. And they are using satanic abuse. These people, the people at the top are not better. They are worse than you. The people, I don't know. It just needs to be brought out into the open, and people need to know, and people need to wake up. Okay? There are bigger problems and bigger fears to have other than COVID, okay? There's a lot worse things going on.